All right, I just wanted to hop on here, do a little 30,000 mile review or so. Right now, my miles are about 31,700 or so, a little less, but figured it'd be a good time for a checkup on the Camaro SS1LE, 1SS1LE 2019. Feeling pretty good still. The car is holding up pretty well. No major complaints. Just a little, driving review too. Just kind of wanted to take you guys through how it is on the road now that I've got to kind of play with all the track modes a little bit. I'm kind of just barely breaking into that stuff. I was honestly, for the first few years, just driving it normally, within the normal tour, sport, and track modes, and just playing with traction control off a little bit when I wanted to do burn a little rubber or something like that. But now I'm actually starting to play with the track modes a bit. So as soon as I know I have kind of an open road ahead of me, in front of the canyons, I'll go ahead and switch over to track mode, and then you can hold the traction control button or push it twice kind of in a certain sequence, and the track modes will pop up, and you can choose between 4 or 5 different computer modes, with the electronic limited slip and all that. So yeah, I've been having fun with that. The car seems a little more alive when I do that, almost like a kind of a 4-wheel drive effect or 4-wheel drive mode effect type of thing, where you can kind of feel it engaging a little bit in the rear end, where say if you just drove it normally, the traction control would just kind of pick up pretty suddenly and then cut your power, and then just make you drive slower, which is a safe way to go most times, you know what I mean, unless you kind of make that mental decision that you kind of want to be on it, and then you're gonna kind of be a little bit more just responsible in that regard. So it that's for that. But normal day to day, it doesn't it's no big loss if you just keep traction control on. The car is plenty fast, and kind of I should do a little kind of recap of this last year. I've had some damage done to the car. It was backed into twice. It's back to normal now, but I had to replace the front fascia and or the just the clip on, the front clip I should say, and it got backed into the rear fender too, both in parking lots, both when I wasn't at fault at all. First time I wasn't even there. I just kind of parked right behind a big truck that was he kind of would have had to take a few different it was kind of like at the end of a lot, and then he just didn't notice I was parked behind him on the other side of the lot, so he just kind of went for it thinking no one was there, and of course my car was there. Front clip got backed into, so at least the hood didn't get bent or anything like that. And then the second time, I was leaving a parking lot on a Friday night, and I think an event got out where people had been drinking, and then the girl backed into me kind of when I was held up leaving the lot, right? So you're going through rows of cars, and just got stuck behind a car stopped, and then sure enough got backed into by a girl who was probably had a drink or two, and she had a little SUV type, so those things are kind of hard to see out the back of, and I guess to her credit a little bit, this thing's low and black and at night, so it's you just have to be somewhat aware of your surroundings. So anyway, the cops came and gave her a sobriety test, and she passed by some miracle. So but anyway, her insurance covered it, and then the first insurance covered it on that. So I'm back to normal pretty much. It sucks to have a not like, straight up original car, you know what I mean? But it is what it is at this point. And then I've also subsequently had some rat damage in the car too, so I'm kind of in the process of fixing that. And just a word to the wise, I would, the minute you kind of sense any kind of mice or lurking around your car, I would just set up some traps. It seems to me I had like 3 living in here at one point, and they're using the insulation to make a nest right where my cabin intake air filter was. So on top of that filter, they were making nests. And I would, like, the first time I took it in to get that filter replaced, the mechanic showed me, and I didn't really know quite what it was at first. It was kind of obviously a rat thing, but I was thinking maybe it was some type of I don't know, some kind of thing. Like, I thought it was maybe the seats, because it was a black material that they were making the nest out of. So I was thinking it was maybe the seats kind of breaking in and like the air recycling and building that up. But sure enough, it's this black insulation material that they make a lot of the car out of, that the rats will then kind of take apart and make into a nest. And I shouldn't say rats, they're more like field mice. So it was like these 3 small field mice in there, and it was weird. One was in the back seat of the car and dead already, and it's like his head exploded, so he probably overheated just being stuck in the car. And then one was actually on top of the filter itself, in the cabin air filter area. And then the last one I killed with a trap. So that was like the first night I put out a trap after all this had happened. I got him. So I would just suggest, if you ever have any kind of mice around where you're parking these things, lay out a trap or 2. Never hurts, and hopefully they'll get the message and just steer clear of that, once a few of their buddies have gotten whacked. So anyway, kind of back to the driving portion. The car is great, as far as just the performance of it all. I'm starting to feel the weight of it a little more now that I'm getting comfortable with the car. It's just not the lightest car in the world, and you can start to feel that just kind of how you drive in the corners, how pretty much I cut the corner a little bit on the approach, and then use the tail end torque to kind of steer me out of it, if that makes sense. So it's not that I lose traction on the way out with the tail end or anything, but there's kind of like some oversteer, obviously, when you're on the gas a little bit when leaving a corner. So I use that kind of to my advantage and help turn the car as I'm leaving the corner. So that's a good way to keep up the corner speed. And so it's going pretty good as far as just the career with the car, and just been enjoying it. As far as mods go in California, I'm pretty limited, I think. Kind of starting to do a little more research as far as like maybe some headers, or some kind of California approved tune with these things, but who knows. It's almost kind of worth it just to keep this one or sell it eventually, and then maybe get a ZL1. I'm kind of just starting to dream about those ZL1s, because basically the thing with this car is I could see, you have to wind this car out pretty good to get a lot out of it, you know what I mean? Where I think the horsepower peak is around 4,500, torque's around 3 grand, so and they're long gears too, so I could see where a supercharger, you could be a lot more lazy of a shifter and driver, and kind of have that like low end torque with that supercharger, and then be building speed on the low end where you wouldn't have to wind it out so much as you would in this car. I mean, but that's kind of the fun thing about this car too, is like you kind of do have to wring its neck a little bit to get out, what you want out of it. So yeah, there is just that kind of that factor there where this one, obviously wouldn't have as much torque and horsepower as the ZL1, but then you actually get to extend the limits of this car a little more than you would a ZL1. So yeah, there's just those kind of trade-offs there, but it's still like being in California too, and since my modding is limited here, it would be kind of cool to have a ZL1 or a ZL1 1LE and be able to just have that much more power in the car and have it be legal, and just have the top dog Camaro. So yeah, I'm thinking about that as well. But as far as like bang for the buck and like what's actually the better car, like day to day, you have to think it, gas mileage and just better ways to be spending my money. This probably is the way to go still. Where you this is the 1SS 1LE. It just has the standard stereo, which is fine. It's actually good. It's a good stereo. Bose is pretty good. It's better than this stereo, but Bose is kind of overrated too, just coming from a pro audio standpoint. So there is that. And then so just liking these tires, these Yokohamas. I probably won't do the tire lettering again. It's kind of just been a chore to keep those things on there. Going throughout the career of those tire lettering strips that you have to glue on. The glue eventually will fail, and then you have like something smacking against your fender. A few times that's happened to me, so I've had to like pull over on the side of the road and cut them off and pull them off, and that's just kind of a headache. So next time I don't think I'll want to deal with that, although they do look good when they're on and nice and white and all that good stuff. It's just I don't know, it's a little flashy too, but yeah, it was fun while it lasted, but I probably won't go and do that again for my next set of tires. They're kind of just like, like most of them are off or mostly off right now, and so I'm just kind of riding with it till I get some new tires. But the tires themselves have been good. They're a very nice street tire. Not nothing like the grip of those Goodyear Supercar 3s. But those things, were super worn out by 15,000 miles, and I've already have another 15,000 miles on these Yokohamas, and there's still plenty tread left, so that's kind of a nice thing. And other than that, yeah, it's pretty good. Like the car has had a lot of fun adventures in it. The back seat works. If you know what I mean. The front seat works too, and the driver's seat works. Just have to have the right situation for all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's just been a fun time in this thing. If I do sell it, I'd hate to have to see it go. But right now I'm kind of holding on to it and just trying to maintain it and treat it right and have it treat me right and not wear it out so much. To just take my truck out a lot of the times when I would only kind of want to take this thing out when I feel like it, right? So not every day is a Camaro day, let's just say that. So probably time for a new truck too, because although I do love my Tacoma, it's starting to show its age, and it would be nice to get in something new, something a little bigger, maybe an F-150 or something. But hey, we're just kind of riding it till the wheels fall off and just trying to take care of this thing as priority number one. So washing this car, I try to ceramic coat it pretty often. You can get that cheap ceramic coat, kind of just on Amazon, and it's not like the heavy duty stuff in that little bottle, that 10M stuff. I've done that like once or twice, but it's just so strong to use that might as well just use like the 9M stuff in the bottle and use that one more frequently, I'd find. So instead of like the spray wax, I'll just kind of do that one, the spray bottle ceramic coat, once every few months is kind of like the magic number. I ceramic coated it probably just about a month ago, but I kind of wanted to hit it one more time just to like double up on it and get the wheels going really good, just so it just has that nice slick surface where it's really easy to wash after that. And after it hardens nicely, you can then go spray and wax it. So yeah, that's the update on this car right now. It's been pretty fun. Just like I said, I'm kind of dreaming about a ZL1 and just experiencing what all that has to offer. But 95% of the time, I'm super satisfied with this car and the performance and everything like that. I think it's just more of like an ego thing, right? To have a ZL1 and just be like, oh well, mine's got the supercharger and this and that and all that. And I think RP Productions kind of alluded to this one being an easier stick to drive, not being a double disc clutch like the ZL1. So there is that. So this one's a really easy manual to drive. The shifter itself is a little notchy, so you kind of have to get used to that. You kind of have to, to kind of really pull it into second gear and that sort of thing. So that first to second shift is a little stiff, but it's not really too big of an issue. And then like the skip shift thing, I've been kind of thinking about that, and it is kind of annoying at times, but when you kind of train your brain to use skip shift, I mean, you're kind of doing what it was intended for, which is just to save you a little gas, because sometimes I can catch myself driving in a lower gear than I need to. Like say I'm in fifth gear, like on the highway for a good 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh shoot, I should have just been cruising in sixth. So that'll kind of eat your MPGs out pretty good doing that. So anyway, there's a little trick for you, is to just use skip shift to your advantage and save a couple of bucks on gas. Doesn't hurt in this day and age. So yeah, that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Feel free, and let's stay tuned for the next one. I was hopefully going to do some Turo trips and do some more car reviews. Maybe some more music covers, get some more my tunes out there, and all that good stuff. Maybe some jiu-jitsu tutorials, as I've got my purple belt last year, so kind of just getting comfortable within that rank and competing. I have a competition coming up this weekend, so I'm cutting weight and watching everyone go to get ice cream right now in this parking lot, and just feeling kind of left out, but just keeping my eyes on the prize. And it's going to be some stiff comp this weekend, so just thinking of all my battle plans going into that. But yeah, it looks like my the car stuff and the music stuff is kind of getting the best hits out of my content, so maybe we'll just stick with that. But if you guys want to see some more fighting stuff, let me know, and we'll do like a few tutorials and see what y'all think. So alright, I'm out of here from Northern California. You guys be good, alright?